headed to Amsterdam. It's 5:30 in the morning. First to Dallas Fort Worth, and then Amsterdam. Here I come. Babe, thanks for getting up so early to take me.
You're welcome.
Thanks for letting me go.
Yeah, I cannot stop you.
You hear that? I'm unstoppable. Very few people. It's kind of weird. This is awesome. Oh, Amsterdam. I think this is my 6th trip to the Netherlands. I love the Dutch. So laid back, bicycles everywhere. Okay, I made it. Here I am in Amsterdam. My room is not ready till 1 o'clock, so I have to kill time for a few hours, but good place to kill time. In the 13th century, Amsterdam was a small fishing village located behind a dam which protected them from the water from the Amstel River. Alright, so I'm here in the first coffee shop that had legal marijuana, apparently. It's called Rusland. It's pretty slow here on a Monday, and I just decided to stop in. It's around the corner from the room I'm staying in. It might be ready at 1, but it might not be ready till 3. Ready for a nap. Amsterdam has fewer bridges than Hamburg, if you can believe it. But technically, if you count the unused locks that are left open, Amsterdam wins. 63% of Amsterdammers use their bikes daily. Did you know there are more than 1 million bicycles in Amsterdam, but only around 821,000 people? And you can find more than 400 kilometers of cycle paths in Amsterdam alone. Here, I wanted to show you something cool. Since the city is so bicycle oriented, they're trying to make it easy. So look, down the middle of the steps, they'll put this rail so you can get your bike down. It makes perfect sense. You gotta love the Dutch. So it's 3:30 in the morning, and my jet lag situation is better than to be expected. Usually it takes me a couple days to kind of reset, but I think I'm ready to go today. So this is Amsterdam at 5 in the morning, and the jet lag is almost shaken off. Give me till tomorrow. Should be fine. Hank's herring. That's what these seagulls are hanging out for. Want some herring? Nice. I won't be getting any of that. Gotta stay away from the sweets. Got a production happening down here. What kind of production going on here? These guys were doing a complicated shot. I watched them rehearse. The cameraman starts on this crane, shooting down.
then steps off to follow the actors. So cool. I wonder what it was for. If you die in Amsterdam but don't have any family, friends, or acquaintances, then a poet will write a poem and recite it at your funeral.
I'm just wandering around. It's around 6 in the morning. The seagulls are out. And I'm just trying to figure out something to eat. Check this thing out here. It's a public urinal, so people don't piss in the street. Looks pretty gross, but you go in there and then you don't get fined. They don't like it when you pee in the street here or drink in the street. You can get fined like 100 euros or something. All right. Oh, maybe I better luck going this way. Fucking seagulls, Jesus. That's a cool one. But there you go. How's that for a fun ride? A lot of the bridges have a metallic name. This is sort of the end of the red light district, I guess. And right down there is Central Station, right through there. There's something pretty cool about getting up very early and enjoying a virtually empty Amsterdam. Highly recommend it. Most of the old houses have those hooks at the top. Push in for a close-up. There you go. That is how you would get furniture up into the houses, because the stairways are a joke. What up, homegirl? I like your hat. Someone is smoking the pot right now. I smell it. So I found a little corner cafe. I'm gonna make a time lapse here, and I'm gonna have a coffee. And so the rain can come without warning, middle of July. Well, no, end of July. But hey, this is Amsterdam, to be expected. And not terribly unhappy with it, to be honest with you. I'd rather have a little moisture than a little heat, you know? Well, I had a much needed foot massage. Wow. That gal was good. 27 euros. So I'm just hanging out here across from the Anne Frank house, waiting for my little cruise to show up at 4. I'm gonna do some canal tours. Noticing these houseboats here. People live on houseboats in Amsterdam. In fact, you can rent them if you want. Probably the same as a hotel. And it's very common. The weather's crazy. You have to take off your jacket and then you have to put it on again. And it's super sunny out, and it was raining. So you really got to be prepared for everything here. This cruise I'm taking is 34 euros, and it's an hour and 15 minutes, I think.
This canal is the poor man's canal, or the Prinsengracht. The warehouses would put wooden shutters instead of windows because windows are taxed. This was a smart way to save costs. You do not need a license to operate a small boat in the Amsterdam canals. The boats can't be over a certain size and you can't go over a certain speed, but you can rent one for the whole day and see Amsterdam in a different way. Behold the Rajputana houseboat. This is rentable on Airbnb. Snoop Dogg stayed here, as well as Bono, and it comes with a free weed service. There used to be 7,000 houseboats at one point in Amsterdam, but they had no sewage hookup, and they were dumping the toilets into the canals. At some point, they stopped accepting more houseboats and allowed a maximum of only 2,500. So you need permits, and a permit is going to cost you between 150,000 and 400,000 euros, and that's only for the permit. You get a zip code, you get sewage connection, and you get power cables, but nothing else. It's like buying a piece of land, except now you have to build the house. These canals are clean, and it's so simple how they do it. The locks get closed every night to let the pressure build up. In the morning, the locks get opened up, and an artificial current gets created and flushes all the dirty water out towards the sea. Because it's a muddy, silty base, the water looks muddy, but it's actually very clear, and you can drink it.
No problem there.
Well, he can drink it. You remember the poor man's canal? Well, this is the rich man's canal. The wider your house, the more tax you paid, and these houses are very wide. There are some very high stairs leading up to the front door, and when you had windows, you are really showing off, like this family here. It's also called the Ghost Channel because after 5 o'clock you never see anybody out here. People don't live in these massive houses anymore. These are all offices. If you didn't pay your taxes, the government would come and smash your stairs to shame you and even break your windows until you paid the tax that you owed. There are 25,000 bikes that are thrown or disappear in the Amsterdam canals every year. Only between 8 and 10,000 get picked out by a special boat from the municipality. Huge ships would come to the port where Central Station is, and smaller boats would use the canals here to transport the goods around the city. Back in the day, if you were a smart and lucky gambler, you could make 4,000 times your investment on those long-distance spice voyages. When it came back, you made a really nice profit. They had to go through storms and raiders and pirates, so big payoff. If you had one successful ship come back unscathed, then you could build your mansion off of that one prosperous ship. These 7 buildings here are interconnected. One hotel, the Waldorf Astoria, I think. The cheapest room is 700 euros a night, and if you want a gin and tonic, it's going to cost you 25 euros. This is the second smallest house here in a very nice neighborhood. Talk about sleeping standing up. The Anne Frank house brings a lot of tourists and a lot of pickpockets. Sometimes they need to reclaim a little land for, parking. Here's a modern technique of a very old practice. The Dutch have been reclaiming land for centuries. Check out this map. The city of Amsterdam is actually located on 90 small islands. Amsterdam has 165 canals, 100 kilometers if you were to add them up. Is it the Netherlands or is it Holland? Well, technically it's the Netherlands, but many still say Holland because that used to be the biggest province. So this was my Airbnb here in Amsterdam. It's perfectly acceptable. And located on a
quiet street. And there's a bonus ball pit in here, which I spent hours in. Not true. But I could have. So I'm gonna go rent a car and then drive to, where am I driving to? Bruges. I'm going to be in Bruges. That's my train. That's going to take me to Schiphol Airport, where I'm going to get my rent-a-car. I'm a little early, but always rather be too early than 2 minutes late. But I better hustle because it's going that way.
Thanks, Amsterdam. I had a great time. Thank you for being everything that you are. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
All right, I'm here at Schiphol Airport. I'm gonna go get my rent-a-car from Auto Europe. I can't tell you how many people I see with the mask sitting way below their nose, as if they're just half-assing it. It is so stupid to me. Like, why bother wearing a mask at that point? I mean, it's like wearing your pants around your ankles. It's not doing the job. It's everything I can do not to confront these people, but I'm holding it back. I'm biting my tongue. We may be doomed.
On the next episode, I go to Bruges, take a cruise, eavesdrop on some locals, and try the fries.